You all right?
Gotcha. All right. Colorado Sled Dogs. And Team USA. Right about there? Yeah, I got you.
Once they come on and start rolling on the warm-up. What's wrong? Oh. All right, you about ready? You about ready? What's up? Hello and welcome to the Rocky Mountain Showdown Series at SportStable in Superior, Colorado. This afternoon into this evening, you'll have an opportunity to watch and enjoy the immense talents of the best sled hockey players in the country, if not the world, including members of the four-time defending Paralympic gold medalist USA sled hockey team. I'm Brian Clark, and joining me is Marc Romero, a disabled athlete himself who covers sled hockey at both the national and Colorado levels. And Marc, you had a chance to watch these same players yesterday afternoon right here at SportStable. Give us a little preview of what we're going to see here tonight.
Well, it won't take long, about 10 seconds, you'll see what we're into. And like I was coaching with the players that you saw yesterday, you're going to be calling just as many of the up-and-coming players and the level 2 guys. I won't even call them level 2. They're just the best in the country who don't happen to be on the A team. And they're fighting for spots on Team USA. This is kind of a try it and a camp for them, as well as just putting on a great show and 2 even teams. And yeah, you're going to see very quickly the action is not going to let up, because these guys are trying to impress the coaches and impress the fans and everybody else. So
we have 2 teams here tonight, Team USA and a team called the Sled Dawgs, in honor of Dog Nation, who has helped put on this event. And basically, it's Team USA isn't just exclusively USA players. The individuals that are at that top USA level are sprinkled throughout both teams, and it's a really good mix. Yesterday afternoon, Team USA prevailed 7-6 in a really close match. And so, like you said, it's an opportunity for Team USA to come together. There's also members of the Colorado Sled Hockey Organization here trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, but I'm glad that they kept the same 2 teams, because they were really even, you know. And it's going to be the same thing today. And I'm sure the guys were jazzing each other last night. The Dawgs want to get Team USA, and Team USA want to get the Dawgs, because they got their teammates, and you know, they got their strong lines, and we saw it all yesterday. And so. And also, you got a lot of regional pride, of course. You know, the guys who play for St. Louis, Chicago, and Colorado, and let's say Boston are the 4 top teams, and they're all represented out here and playing each other, and sometimes teammates, sometimes not used to checking each other rather than passing to each other. So it's really fun, and it's going to be a great game.
Let's highlight a couple of players on both teams, starting with Team USA. Brody Roybal is one of the standouts. Can you tell us a little bit about his background?
Brody's been at it since the inception of the sport getting pretty popular, and since I've been covering it. And I know that he was born with his legs missing and disabilities. So Brody, as I was describing, has been one of the top players, and I call him number 2 to Declan Farmer up to this point. And you know, that's why that one's on one team, you know, and then Declan's on the other team, Brody and Declan, because they are so fast, and they know the game so well, and they're such good passers as well. I saw both of them actually passing to guys that they want to make the team, right? Yesterday, even more than scoring. So there's just a lot of stuff going on here that the whole sled world knows about. And it's, you know, that's why it's so great to be able to cover this, and it's going to be nonstop action.
Well, you mentioned the other name that I was going to bring up, and that, of course, is Declan Farmer. He's playing on the Sled Dawgs and has made his home now here and trains in Colorado. And give us a little bit about his background.
Well, Declan is the guy who has been just so good for sled hockey, because he talks about it well, and he also is just such a great player, and also feeds his player, similar to like the top soccer player in the world, who, yes, they score a lot, but they also score a lot for their teammates. And then to rep the sport and to know where the sport's heading and this top speed and professionalism, he's the guy to do it. So, you know, he's from Florida, and he's been all over the country, though, ever since he's been into sled hockey.
He's a bright young man. He went to Princeton, and now, like you said, he's been just really an ambassador for the game. Even though, somebody had mentioned it earlier, kind of the Wayne Gretzky of the sport right now, probably the best in the world.
Yeah, but you look out on the ice, and everybody is like just 98% of Declan now, because I mean, as far as speed and skill, you know, maybe not 98, but you know what I'm saying, that it's not like the gap, and Brody as well, there's not like the gap between those two is as big as it used to be, just because of all the training and all the amount of time that's gone into it and the development of the sport and these guys.
So we're pausing here. We're going to have the Star Spangled Banner in
There's
just
the
a
dog.
minute.
You heard the dog chant there?
Yeah, that was nice. So this, this really is, and we'll talk about this throughout the course of the game, but the event's really been brought to Colorado by Colorado Sled Hockey, and in particular, the work of Jerry Duvall and his crew, and coordinating with USA Sled Hockey, and the Dawgs have played a supporting role. But really, Jerry has been an important ambassador for the team here in Colorado and trying to get a rink built, actually. So,
yeah, and we'll get into that. We're going into our national anthem.
So singing the anthem this evening is Christy Wenberg, and actually she's the mom of a young sled hockey player named Mitchell. He's on the youth sled hockey team, and we will let Christy take it away.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, that was a real credit to Christy. She only found out that she was singing the national anthem about 15 minutes ago, so pressure under fire. She did a great job. So we're about set for Game 2 of the Rocky Mountain Showdown Series. A reminder that Team USA won yesterday 7-6. The Sled Dawgs have revenge on their mind. Starting in goal for the Sled Dawgs is Griffin Lamar, who is a member of Team USA. Tell us a little bit about Griffin, if you would, Marc.
Well, Griffin, I think, is the A-team guy on the Sled Dawgs, and they're going to start with him, and then it looks like with Team USA is going to start with Taggart Vandermolen, who had a great game yesterday, and he's going to start ahead of Jen Lee, and Jen Lee will probably start the second 30 minutes.
So 2 periods during our game today, 30-minute running time with a single 15-minute intermission, and we're underway as the Dawgs control, working toward the blue line, and they'll dump it down the left wing boards. Quick shot on goal and a glove save by Vandermolen, and he did a nice job. We'll have our first whistle just 20 seconds into the game.
Ben Musselman was all over the ice. Right here, he is also been training in Colorado. And he actually had 2 goals or 1 assist and a goal, I think, yesterday, Ben Musselman, number 4.
Musselman taking this draw against Team USA's Jerry Duvall, won by the Dawgs. Quick shot goes wide of the mark, bounces back out front, and covering up for another whistle is Vandermolen.
Got a line change already. These guys want to stay fresh and strong.
So for those of us that haven't watched a lot of sled hockey, are the shifts about like they are in a more traditional hockey game?
No,
45 seconds, or will guys go longer?
This is totally different because they have to stay on the ice and they have to play by line, and the coaches are looking at certain different things and people playing different positions. So it's a little bit different, but the same.
Cunningham has the puck behind the net, tried to work it back out front as it bounces along the wall. Thus far, their Dawgs have controlled play over the first minute in the offensive zone, and finally, for the first time, Team USA works it out. Over the blue line is Travis Dodson, comes down into the corner, Taken away by the Dawgs, and there's Declan Farmer. He'll try to turn it back the other way. Starts it up the near wing. A collision at the red line. Nice defensive play there by Landon Utke, but taken away by
Josh Pauls.
Here he goes. Here comes Pauls, 1-on-2. Looking to shoot. Pulls the trigger and rifled it just wide.
Almost had the unassisted. Josh does that. He prefers playing defense, but with these guys and on these lines, he's going to be playing a lot of offense as well.
Puck is in the corner to the left of Vandermolen as the Dawgs are trying to work it back out front. Team USA controls. No score, just 2 minutes into this first period. And thus far, the Sled Dawgs have had the only couple of chances of the game. They continue to work on the forecheck as it's picked up by Danny Malloy. Trying to work it out front, but he's marked nicely there by a Team USA defender. As the puck skitters behind the net, and Team USA will try to break it out.
That's useless for the Dawgs all over the ice, playing defense.
Team USA going for a change, and back up the near wing come the Dawgs into the offensive zone. Controlling there is Noah Grove. He'll regroup in front of his own net. Take his time. Long stretch pass. Bounces by everybody. The officials will wave off the ice. Yeah, they waved it off. But the Dawgs, Chris Douglas gets to it first. Held it at the blue line nicely by Grove, although it's just chipped back out of the bench area. And the teams will try to organize there. Just more than 3 minutes gone in this first period. No score. Team USA still looking for their first shot toward the net. Flip back out towards center, and Team USA will give chase. You know, the Dog Nation is working toward building a rink exclusively for sled hockey, and you can see here why it's so important that the players cannot be on the benches during the course of play. They're on the ice, and it would be just ideal for them to be able to have a bench area. Yeah,
the guys kind of know not to shoot it over there, but obviously you're gonna, and it's gonna just stop play.
Team USA finally had their first shot toward the goal, went wide, but here it's kept in through the circle. Shot blocked by the Dawgs. Comes right back though, and USA will try to start their efforts again. That's Travis Dotson trying to center. It was knocked down as the puck is free behind. Out front, shot saved.
What a save.
And Griffin Lamar makes a tough save there to keep this a scoreless door.
All right, we'll have another line change.
Taking a look at the replay, that puck just kind of came out behind Lamar, and he did a good job to keep his head on a swivel and lean back and deny Jack Wallace right there on the doorstep. Draw one by Team USA, but it splits the two D-men, and USA will have to regroup at their own line. Speeding up ice, though, was David Eustace. He was all over there. What speed, kept in at the right point. Josh Pauls trying to make a play. And here comes Pauls in the high slot. Through the circle. Shot. Just guided it wide of the left post. And the rebound caroms all the way back to the blue line. Unable to keep it in are the Dawgs.
Nice hit.
And here comes Team USA.
That's the ball.
Bit of a 3-on-2. Puck is centered. Broken up by the Dawgs, but getting it back is Evan Nichols. They'll turn it out front for Travis Dotson. Dotson in the slot. He fires, deflected off a body, never got through to the goaltender. Kept in by Bolton. Bolton slides down the wall and dumps it behind the goal to the near corner. USA going through a partial change right now, but they're able to stymie the Dawgs from working a successful breakout. As Team USA continues on the forecheck. Just came outside the zone, and now it's dumped back in by USA, and they'll complete their change. Still no score. Almost 6 minutes gone in the first period. Both teams have had a couple of good chances, and the goaltenders right now have been the stars of the game. Now Team Dawgs goes for a change, and Team USA trying to take advantage.
Look at that
chip
pass.
Toward the net, rolls just wide of Lamar.
Just trickled over the stick.
The Sled Dawgs will break it out. Here's a chance over the blue line. It's Mishevitz. Drop pass. He's got Declan Farmer who centered it and just guiding it wide was Chris Douglas. You had talked about Declan. He's not just shooting all the time. He wants to set up his teammates, and that was a great
that's the game.
opportunity there for Chris Douglas. Still scoreless. Here's a 2-on-1 for Team
the
USA.
2-on-1.
It's Headman for just offside. I don't know. Malik Jones
called many,
just
but they
ahead
called
of
that
the
one.
play, maybe by a half stride. He was unhappy with the call. I don't know. Maybe they'll show it one more time on the replay to see if he in fact was offside. Face-off controlled by the Sled Dogs. And they'll work their way through center. Farmer over the blue line. Chipped back the other way by Team USA, and here comes Evan Nichols. But getting back nicely on his horse is Josh Pauls, and he'll turn it back over the USA blue. Declan Farmer tracks it down in front. He shoots and scores!
This time.
Farmer goes upstairs, and the Sled Dogs lead 1-0.
Well, you see it there on the replay. Look at this move. You can use both hands in sled hockey, and he used them well. What's a goaltender to do?
So that goal comes at about the 7:35 mark of this first period. Farmer with his first of the day, and we saw his talent on display there. He was so tied into the goaltender, and he was still able to go top shelf.
You're going to want to send ESPN that one.
Highlight reel for sure. So the Sled Dogs lead 1-0, trying to avenge that loss from yesterday afternoon. They're in their own zone, looking to break it out now. Played up the left wing, and they get it through center. Here comes Danny Malloy. Nobody up that far side.
That's what you got to
Team
do with
USA
those
will
players.
take
You got to
over.
just tap with your sticks. You got to be ready for it, because if you let it get into the bench, it's not good.
Duvall, a drop pass for Bolton. Back to Duvall. He'll shoot. It's blocked. Still loose in the slot. Scramble for the puck. And Team USA gets it back. It's easily. He rifles it high of the mark. Bounces back through the circle. And the teams will battle for it in the near corners. It's wrapped up the far side. Sled Dogs lead 1-0. Nearly 9 minutes gone in this first period. As Team USA controls out through center ice, Travis Dodson. Dodson drops it out for Noah Grove. He's looking for some help, and he'll find a teammate up the left wing. That's Malik Jones. Local product out of Aurora. Tell us a little bit about Malik.
Oh, Malik has been at it for the past decade, since he was a kid and a pup. I think he's about 22 now. And he's a top guy because of his size and his commitment to the sport and handling the puck. You just watch him play, and you will see why he's part of that U.S. gold hockey team.
Puck is dumped out by the Sled Dogs.
Whoa,
Tracking it down
another one.
first is Declan Farmer.
That
He
was
has
a
a pair.
replay.
And the Sled Dogs lead 2-0. Right there we saw Farmer's speed on display.
I'm looking at the same replay. But
He
look at
just
this.
beat everybody to the puck.
Goalie should have known this time.
Drew it to the forehand and beats into the blocker side.
But that was sweet. All right, the Sled Dogs are out for revenge.
So we were scoreless for the first 7 minutes or so, and then Declan Farmer, the best player in the world,
Look
really
at this. Eustace
scores a pair.
bats it into the goal. These guys are always batting the puck because they're right there at eye level. And so you see these guys playing baseball with the puck a lot and hitting. And especially when they're out in front of the goal, that's pretty fun. A lot of goals score with guys in the air.
Face off to the left of Taggart Vandermolen. Controlled by the Sled Dogs, but
there's
taken
Malik.
away by Malik. But he couldn't quite handle it.
Like I said, Josh
The Dogs
Paul's
get it back.
top
Josh Paul's-
defenseman in the world. You're not getting by him unless you have a few steps.
His headman pass was a little too far for Farmer. And Team USA will look to break it out. They can't.
Few
Cut off
chops.
by the Sled Dogs. Now they'll play it back through center. And the
There's
Sled
Josh
Dogs will have
cleaning
to
up.
track it down. Here come the Dogs now over the blue line. It's Witkowski. He lost the handle as it's loose into the near corner. Collected there by Malik Jones, and Team USA will start the breakout. 11 minutes gone here in the first period. The Sled Dogs lead 2-0 on a pair of goals from Declan Farmer.
Same thing happened yesterday. Dogs got up ahead 2-0. See what Team USA has in store.
So Team USA knows they can come from
Oh,
behind. Big
the
collision
nice
at center
hit there.
ice.
Eustace and Brody.
And Roybal shaking it off. He's
No
going to
harm
go
done.
for a change. That was a big collision. That's the biggest we've seen this evening.
Oh, nice.
Sled Dog center comes back to the point. Shot. Guided just wide that time by Liam Cunningham. Puck is at the side of the net. Now kicks behind.
McKee.
Recentered out front, but nobody home for the Sled
What
Dogs.
a little pass by McKee there.
And chipped up the wall by Team USA. Dogs control just inside their own zone. Good forecheck by Bolton. But now the Sled Dogs are able to just get it out. Actually, they couldn't quite clear the zone. Now they do. Broken up there at center ice by Easley. And it's played down to the right of Vandermoor. 17:40 remaining in the first period. The Sled Dogs lead 2-0. As the teams muck it up behind Team USA's net. Kicks to the far corner, and collecting there is Brett Bolton for Team USA. He'll slide it up and out to center ice. Here's your man Josh Pauls again. You're not kidding, he's like the sweeper back there.
Oh, yeah.
He's a little soccer parlance.
We call them Spuds.
There you go. On the forecheck, the Sled Dogs get to it first, trying to with a wraparound. Was that Danny Malloy in the wraparound try? He was denied by
Oh, that's
Vandermoor.
Farmer in the mix there, but nothing happening from that close.
And it kicks again behind the cage. Thrown back toward the
Gets it
blue
out, see if
line,
they can
and
get
it
some
will
speed.
just escape the zone. Sled Dogs will regroup. Here's Pauls. He'll dump it back over the blue line. Cut off, though, by Dodson, and he'll start the breakout. His breakout pass, though,
Declan
was
intercepted.
tipped away, and Declan Farmer was right there on the forecheck. Farmer has the only 2 goals this evening as the Sled Dogs lead 2-0, 16:30 to go here in the first. Team USA will break it out. Coming through center is Travis Dodson. But another strong back check.
Look at that. By
and it's
Eustace up to
Headman
Farmer. A little bit
just
too high.
ahead of Farmer. But what a back check by Eustace. You said it. You know, we've seen his speed on display a couple of times. That time on the back check, and earlier this first period, he was flying in the forecheck and got to a puck before everybody else. Puck is jammed up behind the goal. Centered into the high slot. Broken up, though, by Malik Jones. And the Sled Dogs will try to work on the forecheck.
Got to have that stick ready. Don't let it go into the bench.
Team USA is able to clear it out. The Dogs are completing a change. Thus far, through the first almost half of the first period, here's a stretch pass looking for Roybal, but it was just bounced past him. Otherwise, he would have had a clean breakaway. So we've talked about Declan Farmer being the real star for the Sled Dogs, and it's Brody Roybal who's really the headliner for Team USA. That was really the first time we've seen Roybal maybe have an opportunity.
Yeah, well, we're just getting rolling. All the players played their hearts out, and, are just getting back on the ice to that level.
Here's a shot from the circle. Nice save there by Griffin Lamar. It actually looked a little tricky. It was sort of an off-speed shot, but he was able to get the catching glove down, and we have a whistle.
You get a lot of funky rolls in this game and bounces, but of course you do in the regular hockey game.
Draw controlled by USA. There's Roybal. His shot, though, goes just wide. And it's taken away by Ryan Strong for the Dogs. He'll clear along the near boards. Shift back out through center, and Team USA will regroup. Roybal will dump it down. And picking it up for the Sled Dogs is Josh Pauls. He's made his presence felt on defense tonight. Negotiates his way around a couple of Team USA players there and finds a teammate as the Dogs will start. They break out up the other side. Long lead pass, out of reach for everybody. It slides just wide, and this will be icing against the Sled Dogs. Declan Farmer scored his first at 7:35 of this first period, and then about 2 minutes later at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, he tacked on his second. And now it looks like they're going to have the face-off in the Team USA zone, which is a bit strange. It was icing against the Sled Dogs. What did we miss?
The refs
Now
missed
they're
it.
conferring.
They're going back. Yep.
All right, they're going to bring it out to center ice. So admitting that maybe they'll just have a do-over and we'll start.
But yeah, right now,
center.
Paul's the difference in this game, just the defense that the Sled Dogs are playing. Because it's amazing that Team USA hasn't gotten on the board yet with all the firepower they've thrown out there.
Pauls is the captain of Team USA, so it's no surprise that he's such a stalwart back there for his club.
And goaltender between those two, they're dominating.
Out to center ice, it's Team USA, taken away by the Dawgs though, but they'll give it right back to Easley. Easley over the blue line, just was run into by Chris Douglas, and that stopped the threat. Here come the Sled Dogs. Along the left wing, it's Douglas over the blue line, throws it toward the goal, glove saved by Vandermolen, rebound was there, and Vandermolen makes another stop.
Nice shot from Eustace there.
He's all over the place. I would say behind Pauls and Farmer, Eustace has been making the biggest impact.
Eustace plays great defense and offense.
He is on Team USA as well.
From the NEP team and the East Coast Boston team that he plays for in the top league.
12:20 remaining in the first. The Sled Dogs still lead 2-0. USA looking to break it out, and they do. They've got a 2-on-1 if they hustle. Here comes Malik Jones, turned into a 1-on-1. Good back check.
Pauls again.
Here's a centering pass and a score! And cleaning up the loose change was Isaac Escobedo.
That's right, cleaning it up.
Malik Jones, it was a 2-on-1 that morphed into a 1-on-1. Jones was knocked off the puck.
Look at this
and
replay.
There came Escobedo, and he was able to smoke it upstairs past Griffin Lamar. It's 2-1. And Team USA is on the board.
Just too many bodies banging forward. And they got that one, and there's Team USA back in the game, 2-1.
So my apologies. The goalies wear the same number, and so it has actually been Sean Gallagher that has been in net tonight for the Sled Dogs.
Yes.
So that has not been. So sorry to besmirch Griffin there with that last goal, but really, Sean Gallagher's played well. That's the first one that Team USA has put up on him as they've cut the Dogs' lead in half.
Yeah, I'm glad they told us that. And impressive so far, along with Paul's. But we'll see where we go from here.
Isaac Escobedo. And about the 19-minute mark of this first period. Since it's running time, it's tough to give the exact goal times. The bottom line, though, is the Sled Dogs got up 2-0. And Team USA is now on the board, and they're working on the forecheck. Easley drops it off for Roybal. He'll center into the high slot. Shot was blocked. Kicks back through the circle for Roybal. He'll shoot. Saved, though, by Gallagher. And we'll have another stoppage. Well, after a slow start through the first half of the first period, Brody Roybal, I think, has found a little life, and he's generated a number of chances for his club. Face-off controlled by Team USA. Into the high slot, Roybal couldn't find a teammate. Good defensive play.
Nice.
And now it's a race for the puck, and getting to it first is Eustace. Here's Eustace. He'll pass off. A great save by Vandermolen, though. And I believe he denied Kevin McKee. Here's a breakaway chance for Team USA, but coming out is Gallagher, and he'll cover the puck just ahead of Jack Wallace. So at one hand, a great save by Taggart Vandermolen. And then back on the other side, Gallagher made sure he did not have to make a save by being aggressive and coming out and covering that puck. But Eustace, again showing his speed, outfought a man for the puck, set up his teammate Kevin McKee before the great save by Vandermolen to keep this a 2-1 hockey game. Sled Dogs will break it out through center. Under 9 to play in the first. Sled Dogs lead 2-1. Escobedo is the goal scorer for Team USA.
Farmer intercepts. Up to Eustace.
Eustace over the blue. Couldn't find a teammate, but tracking it down is Farmer. He'll just throw it out front, sails past everybody, but Eustace keeps it in. He'll drop it off for Pauls. Plays it for a teammate. High atop the right circle. Sent toward the goal, kind of a rolling puck, and falling over on it is Vandermolen, and we'll have another stoppage. The Sled Dogs went to work, and sort of with his back to the goal, Kevin McKee, who was denied now twice in a row by Vandermolen. That was a sneaky little shot with his back to the goal. He just spun and kind of fired one on net. Team USA looking to break it out, and they do up the right wing. Long lead pass. What a play through center to knock it down. That was Josh Mishevitz. Otherwise, might have been a 2-on-0 for Team USA. Here's Malik Jones. Has a man through the left circle. That's Dodson. He'll pull up looking for help, but the Sled Dogs recover, and they'll bottle him up in the corner. Puck is free along the far side, held in by Utke. Taken away, though, with the Dogs, but fumbling the puck with the Dogs, and it's held in by Team USA. Dodson, left circle. He surveys. High slot for Grove. Grove opts not to shoot, and he'll double back toward the blue line.
Great defense by the Dogs again.
Leaves it for Malik Jones. Gets around two men. Still has control. And he'll drop it off Roybal. He shoots, but that rising shot went up over the cage. The rebound, was it held in?
No.
Just came out.
Came out.
And Team USA will have to get onside. Under 7 to go in this first period. The Sled Dogs lead 2-1. Team USA on the forecheck. 2-on-2 scrum in the near corner. More players arrive. And finally, it's into the slot. Quickly shot wide by Jack Wallace. And it's controlled on the far side by the Dogs. That's Liam Cunningham. He'll come behind his own net as the Dogs will look to break it out.
Well, both teams are playing more defense today than yesterday, but it's just a natural when all these guys get together. The more defense will be played eventually.
Here's Josh Pauls, and we've seen defense is his specialty, but his outlet pass was picked off by Duvall. Here through the right circle, it's easily fanned on the shot. Now it's sent toward the goal, and a nice save by Gallagher. Left wing corner, it's Jack Wallace. He's taken off the puck, and there's Pauls again. This time his outlet pass does hit a teammate, and the Dogs will skate through center ice. It's Declan Farmer. He already has a pair.
What a pass there.
Drop pass. And eventually got deflected into the corner, and Farmer comes behind the net for a teammate. Finally wristed out by Team USA. This will be an icing call, and we'll do it again back in front of USA's goaltender, Taggart Vandermolen.
I'm sure these guys wouldn't mind if they called time during these timeouts, but the clock still runs. So either way, you're rested.
Dogs got on the board first at 7:35 and 9:30 of this first period. 2 goals from Declan Farmer, and then 10 minutes later, Isaac Escobedo brought Team USA back within 1, and that should be stand with there 5 minutes left in this first period. Over the Dogs line, it's Dodson. He'll find a trailer. It's Grove who shoots. That wrister went high of the mark.
Wicked wrister there.
Holding the line is Grove. And he'll just dump it back down into the corner. Sled Dogs get there first. But the breakout pass is cut off nicely by Bolton. He didn't have a teammate on the end boards. And Josh Pauls gets it back. It seems like Pauls hasn't gotten for a change all evening. He's been out there forever.
Yeah, the Dogs want to win this one.
Well, you said it. They had a lead yesterday. They let slip away. They don't want the same thing to happen tonight. They work in the offensive zone. Under 4 to go in the first.
I guess they're doing a little one-line person change. They do those too.
Dodson will try to break it out, and he does. Getting to the puck versus
There's
Roybal.
Rhodey.
He has a breakaway. Roybal is caught from behind. What a back check from Chris Douglas, and he didn't allow Roybal to really get much on it.
He purposefully, I think, faded it over there to that side of the net, but just didn't fade it correctly.
Gallagher didn't even need to make a save.
If that had trickled in, you would have seen, I think, what Brody was intending, which was to trickle in goal. Not trickle, but just a soft attempt.
Easley's centering pass is picked up by Evan Nichols. Easley gets it back, high slot. His pass broken up.
Under the sled. Can't be good.
Sled Dogs don't get it out. Here's Escobedo. He centers in front. Shot saved, just went wide as Nichols had the chance. And I do believe that Gallagher got a piece of that. Another shot from the side of the net. Gallagher made the stop, but he couldn't cover up the rebound.
Gallagher's got to cover up that. You can't see it, though. It's
still live.
Right under his legs.
The referee's right there.
Yeah, you got to call that one. I guess that's the one place when you're a goaltender you don't want that puck going is right underneath you.
You've got to look now at the replay, and you could tell Gallagher wasn't sure where it was. He was kind of looking around and crashing into it. Was Jack Wallace just trying to drive it into the net?
Back into his net.
The ref was right there, though, and there wasn't much arguing from Team USA. It must not have crossed the goal line.
You got to call play at that point. Puck under Sled.
2 minutes remaining in this first period. The Sled Dogs lead 2-1. Team USA, though, asserting themselves over the back half of this period. Big scrum of players in the corner, down to the left of Dogs goaltender Sean Gallagher. Still scrummed up in that corner. Reinforcements arrive. This looks like one of my men's league games. And finally, it's kicked free into the slot.
Well, you can see why a 30-minute long, you're going to have a lot of line changes. And, yeah.
Held in by Wallace, down into the corner from Malik Jones. He's been a factor this evening. Shot by Wallace, nice blocker save by Gallagher. That was a good setup from Jones. Team USA has had this puck in for the last minute or so, and now we have a whistle for a hand pass with just a minute to go in this opening frame.
All right, we'll get the fresh lines in for this last minute.
And it looks like they might be, with the hand pass, they're going to bring the draw outside.
Next time we'll be stopping the clock at points like this. But for now, the clock's running. So get it to puck, drop the puck, guys. No rest for the weary.
Dodson facing off against Eustace. Eustace has been a factor here tonight for the Sled Dogs.
Oh, nice hit there.
Another big collision. The Dogs, though, break it out. They've got a 3-on-2. If they can gain control, they do, but they just play it down to the right of Vandermolen.
We got one little opportunity here if they can keep it in.
It's Eustace again tracking it down.
9 seconds.
Throws it toward the front. Quick peek and just kind of slid on goal. With the opportunity there was Danny Malloy. Didn't get a lot on it as the buzzer sounds, ending this opening 30 minutes. Well, an entertaining opening period as it was all Sled Dogs to start. But then by about the 15-minute mark, Team USA started to get in gear.
A lot more defense than yesterday, but just as much action. And these guys are learning how the lines are going to be called and everything else. So same action, just a few less goals scored, and great goaltender. All right, that'll do it for halftime.
Yeah, we're going to have a real treat coming up. We're going to have a conversation with Dan Brennan, who's the director of Sled National Teams for USA Hockey and the general manager of the U.S. National Sled Team. He's been in that role for many, many years, and really looking forward to chatting with him to learn more about the program and what Team USA has going on. You got it? There we go. Well, welcome, Dan. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you fine.
Nothing like meeting for the first time on the air. I'm Brian Clark.
Hi, Brian. I'm Dan.
Well, thanks for coming up. And, I guess we're going to go on camera here. So we're going to See our wonderful mugs. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. So, I don't know. I introduced you with a couple of different job titles. As we get started here, just tell us your role with the national sled team. You've been working with them forever, and kind of what you've been doing over the last, it's almost a couple of decades. Can you believe it?
No, I can't believe it. But it's been a real honor to, be the general manager of our national Paralympic team. And every year it just keeps getting better. The talent on our team keeps getting better. So I'd like to say they're making my job a lot easier.
We've talked about it throughout the broadcast, but you're really the definitive voice on it. Can you describe these types of training weekends that the club goes through and where the players are coming from and kind of Colorado sled hockey's participation in this one in particular?
Yeah, we've had a little bit of migration from our players from different areas who have moved to the Denver spot, and they've put a real spotlight on the game now in this area, which is fantastic. But, these training camps for us are really important, especially ones like this where we can bring in more players and play scrimmage games like we've done here. And it gives the players a little more fun to play a little more games than just, regular training. But these are all geared up to prepare us for the World Championships that will take place in Calgary in May.
Okay, nice. So this is an evaluation that they're undergoing from the coaches. Like there's real stakes here for some of these players.
Yeah, I mean, every time we're together, it's an evaluation, and the players know that. And, we started to bring a taxi team up of 6-7 guys to push our guys, but also to give the younger players an understanding of being around the veteran players and, understanding, what they need to do to get better to get to the next level.
It's interesting. Looking at more traditional hockey, like I think about the women's game where it's really USA and Canada dominate, but it sounds like here in sled hockey, it's all USA. Is there really competition, or other countries coming up where they can give more competition to Team USA?
It wasn't always that way. When I first started, we took our lumps. We finished third all the time behind Canada and Norway. So we're kind of enjoying the fruits of a lot of incredible volunteers, grassroots people that have really stepped up and brought us some great players. We have the most depth of any country that plays the sport, but we dearly miss Russia. They haven't played in the last few years because of the war in the Ukraine, and they're a heck of a team. And Canada's going through a little bit of transition, but they'll be back. They have some real good young players, so it's kind of secular, and we're enjoying our part right now as being on top.
I'm joined by Dan Brennan, who's the general manager of the U.S. national sled hockey team, as we're between periods. The Sled Dogs leading Team USA 2-1, and we saw a couple of the stars on display during that first period, and we've talked about the presence of Declan Farmer. He had the 2 goals for the Sled Dogs, and if you wouldn't mind, just sort of give us a little background on Declan and how much he means to your sport right now.
Yeah, Declan's been just unbelievable. He's a great player, but he's an even better person. Very well educated. He's a Princeton grad. I remember Declan, we had to get a special waiver for him when he was 15, and he hasn't stopped scoring since. But his leadership and his overall integrity every time he comes out, like he works just as hard in practice as he does in a game, and that sets the tone for everybody else on our roster.
How do you guys, I mean, you kind of mentioned it, you're trying to get more taxi squad guys up into the national team picture. I mean, how do people get involved? If somebody unfortunately has a disability where they're eligible to play sled hockey, are you out recruiting? Are you trying to introduce the sport on a grassroots level? How do you get more people involved?
Yeah, when that happens, we tend to put them towards the district that they live in, and they start out in youth programs. And like I said earlier, there's been some unbelievable volunteer people that have taken incredible care of some of these young people that have either had unfortunate accidents or, things they've been born with by birth. But it starts there, and then they're recommended to come to national camps. We're starting out this summer with 4 regional camps across the country to identify players of all skill levels, and the good ones will be invited to our national camp, and from there, it's up to them to make the big club.
Mm-hmm. Our anthem singer tonight, Christy Wenberg, her son plays on one of the junior teams, and so are there more and more kids that are getting involved? I mean, you mentioned having to get a waiver for Declan at the age of 15. Are there kids even younger than that are able to play?
They're playing. Now you have to be 16 years old to play on the national team.
And I guess that, sorry to interrupt, I
Yeah,
didn't mean
no.
necessarily on the national team. I just meant in general, there are more kids that are getting involved in sled hockey.
And the really neat thing is, if you look at every guy on our roster right now, they all watch the Paralympic team play either in Vancouver in 10 or Sochi in 2014. And that put the dream in their head that, hey, that's what I want to do. I hope one day I'm good enough to play on that team. And that's kind of how it's worked out for us.
Something I've noticed, and I hadn't really seen a game where this is what it's like, is that the players are not on benches, that they do have to be on the ice during the course of play. And I'm sure it would be nice to have a sled hockey only facility where the players could have their own bench and sort of, use all 185 by or what is it, 200 by 85. I should know that.
That's all right. To answer your question, it is unfortunate when players have to sit on the ice. It kind of takes the integrity of the game away. It stops some offensive chances. And most of the arenas across the country are not sled accessible. But for us to have competitions against other countries, they have to be. So, we lean on some of the 8 to 15 arenas across the country that are sled accessible. But, we'd certainly like to see more, especially in the Colorado area, so we could bring, Canada to play us in 3 games. And I think that would really help grow the sport in this area and obviously in other areas as well.
Talk to me about the influence of Jerry Duvall. I know he's been involved with Colorado sled hockey. He's up for the Willie O'Ree Award, and so obviously he's done a lot for the sport. And it sounds like here in Colorado, in your backyard, he's really helped at the grassroots level.
Yeah, Jerry's a real can-do guy. There's nothing that, in his opinion, they can't do or can't overcome. Obviously, his story and his mining accident, I think he's taken what happened to him in a negative way into an extremely positive way, and how he spreads, that real unbelievable experience, turns a real negative into a positive and helps others around him. And I think that's really passed on through, here in Colorado with USA Hockey, with Dog Nation. But Jerry's just an all-around good guy, and, we love to work with him. And now that he's the president of the Colorado Sled Program, I think they're going to be off and running. Is
there any talk of trying to create almost a league among these different pockets of sled hockey throughout the country? I mean, talking with Marc Romero during the course of the first period, that Boston, St. Louis, Chicago, obviously Denver and Colorado, that there's a number of spots that have players.
Yeah, we do have it's called the Midwest Sled League, where all those teams do play. That takes place in conjunction with this season. And it's another reason why our national team is so strong, is when they're not with us, they're still playing against top competition.
Got it. As I'm joined by Dan Brennan here between periods, as the Sled Dogs lead Team USA 2-1 after the first 30 minutes. As you take a look, we're now 4 periods this weekend. We're going into the 4th and final period. Yesterday was a real barn burner with a 7-6 win for Team USA. I mean, are there things in your mind that you'd like to see in this 4th and final period, or it's just more of the same?
Well, I would like to see, now that I'm coaching the USA team, I'd like to see us ahead. But other than that, the effort's there, and I think the guys are really enjoying themselves. They had a nice time. We didn't have a skate this morning, so they got to see Boulder a little bit, and I'd like to see the second half be just as exciting as it was yesterday. I
didn't have a chance to catch yesterday's game, but I know you guys came from behind. What was the difference for your team during that second period?
We have so many good players on both teams. It was more just, guys doing their thing. There was no magic to it, just guys doing what they normally do when they get out there. So we were fortunate to be on the good side yesterday.
What has struck me is the back checking in this game tonight has been very noticeable. I mean, I would say more than half the odd man rushes have been thwarted because of guys flying back.
Yeah, that's a real credit to our coaches. It's a real credit to our players and the condition they stay in. We take pride in how we play the game at both ends, and we're probably the best skating team in the sport, and it shows in those situations.
Yeah, it's been something for me to see, and I should say, I'm going to have to tell my men's league that we got a little bit to live up to in that regard. Looking at your role, you've been, you played college hockey at CC back in the early 80s. You got involved with USA Hockey, I think, in the mid 90s, and I'm sure it's hard to believe you've been there for so long and working with sled hockey for so long. What kind of is on the horizon for you? Is this something that you just want to keep moving forward with over the next however long?
Yeah, I have a hard time realizing my age from a maturity standpoint, and I've been with USA Hockey for 28 years now, but it doesn't feel like it. And when you're around young players that have so much passion for the game, it rubs off on you no matter how old you are. I'd like to keep it going and see what happens, and hopefully keep providing a great experience for these young men who are real special individuals. They're hockey players. They're not disabled hockey players. If anyone wants to sit in a sled and skate against our guys, you'll find out in a hurry. They're athletes, and they're unbelievable athletes, and they're just a thrill to be around 24/7.
You read my mind. I was going to ask you a little bit about that. For those of us that are fortunate to play regular hockey, what is the challenge? I mean, you get in a sled, it's hard to even balance on it, right? Like, sort of describe for folks.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is you're in a sled. You're playing hockey with two hands. You're skating with your stick and blade underneath your torso, but you're also trying to not get hit by players on the other team. It's like cross country skiing in a go-kart. Like, the athleticism it takes is just through the roof.
And the strength. I mean, I got to imagine to shoot the puck like these guys shoot it with both hands is something else.
There's guys out here that shoot the puck between 80, 85 miles an hour with one hand, and it's unbelievable.
It's amazing. Now, is it all wrist shots? I haven't seen, or are you able to take a slap shot, or?
The stick isn't overly curved, so the slap shot's not real effective. Most of them, it's a wrist or a snap. But you saw Kevin McKee try to do a Michigan goal in the first part of the period there. So they're very talented, and they find a way to shoot the puck no matter how it takes, whether it's a backhand or forehand, but they rip it. I mean, they shoot it hard.
No, for sure. And both goalies have made nice saves in that first period. It's certainly a challenge to get to the upper portion of the net, and even just what you take for granted, at least covering the puck is a challenge, it seems.
Yeah, everything they do is a challenge, but they welcome it. When they're out on the ice together, I think they have a sense of freedom and a sense of equality they don't feel at any other part of their day. And I think that's why they love to play so much, is it makes them as equal as possible.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Well, the Zamboni's off. We're going to let the ice dry a little bit, and you got a job to do here in this second 30 minutes. Thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, it was my pleasure, and it was nice to meet you on air.
Same here, Dad.
Okay,
take care.
Take care now.
We'll talk to you soon. So again, we're back between periods as the Sled Dawgs lead Team USA 2-1 through 30 minutes of this Rocky Mountain Showdown Series that began yesterday afternoon here at SportStable in Superior, Colorado. Team USA prevailing 7-6 in a come-from-behind win, and tonight they're going to have to do the same as the Sled Dawgs got out to a 2-0 lead. Declan Farmer, really the best player in the world, showed off his stuff with a pair of goals, the first at about 7:35 of that opening period, and then again just a couple of minutes later at 9:30. And at about that point, Team USA was a little sluggish. And you heard Dan Brennan, who's coaching that team, he wasn't too excited with that start, but they showed some mettle yesterday and came back, and we'll see if they can do it again tonight. The comeback started at about the 19-minute mark of that first period when Team USA had a breakdown into the offensive zone, and it was Brody Roybal who really was taken out on a one-on-one, and picking up the loose change was Isaac Escobedo, and he made no mistake to pull his team back within that single goal. And now we'll see if Team USA can finish it off. There were a lot more goals yesterday during the game, 7-6 through the 60 minutes of play. Again, it's 2 30-minute running time periods as opposed to 3 periods. And talking with our color analyst earlier during the game, I did not have an opportunity to watch the game yesterday. It sounded like it was much more wide open yesterday, but I mentioned it with that interview with Dan Brennan that the back checking has been from both clubs. Really astonishing at how quickly these players turn and go, and just a number of odd man rushes have been snuffed out, and really no scoring opportunity has ensued. Let's take a quick look at the two goalies here beginning in this second 30-minute session. In goal for Team USA is Jen Lee. He is the top goaltender for Team USA. And getting between the pipes for the Sled Dawgs, it's Griffin Lamar after Sean Gallagher played that opening 30 minutes. Griffin Lamar and Jen Lee are the two top Team USA goalies right now. So Taggart Vandermolen and Sean Gallagher, who are trying to climb the ranks, played the opening frame, and now we get the two big dogs here to take us home. Well, back in the seat is Marc Romero, and Marc, as we're about set for this second period, give us your impressions of that opening 30 minutes.
Well, this is looking good. I'm predicting a lot more scoring in the second half, just because this is the last time these guys go at it, and the U.S. team will be off for facing Canada next time, and all the other guys go and play for the regional teams and get set up for nationals. And yeah, this is it, another 30 minutes. See if the Sled Dawgs can keep their 2-1 lead, but see if they can keep it a low-scoring game, which I doubt.
Yeah, I mean, much like yesterday, we'll see if the floodgates open. But now you've got the two top net miners, so maybe not.
Yeah, well, we will see. These guys are getting used to who they're playing with, and so I'm expecting more scoring and expecting all-out action, as always.
And there is a lot of pride on the line. But, you know, Dan Brennan mentioned it during our interview that these types of training camp scenarios where everybody comes together, it's good to have these intra-squad scrimmages, because right now, unfortunately, the U.S. is sort of head and shoulders above the international competition, and really their best competition is playing themselves in settings like this.
You got it.
So there is a lot on the line.
And also, you can throw Canada in there. Canada can field a couple teams and cities that can be at this level on, from their A team. And these guys play each other internationally as U.S. versus Canada, anyways. So there's great things that are happening with all these guys facing each other and wanting to face each other more.
We are underway here in the second period. The Sled Dawgs leading 2-1. A pair of goals by Declan Farmer, and then Isaac Escobedo cut the lead in half. USA from the right circle, quick
right
shot,
off the
and
bat.
a glove save by Griffin Lamar. That was Noah Grove with the opportunity. It took Team USA a little while to get going in that first period, not so much here in the second, and Brendan talked about it during that interview. He wanted his club to get going right away. Face-off controlled by Josh Pauls, and he was omnipresent during that opening frame. Lead pass just out of reach.
No, it's Musselman who almost caught up to it.
Slides all the way down on Jen.
It's got
Here's
Farmer.
another chance. Here's Farmer for the hat trick.
But
Instead, he
gives it
passes off, and just missing was
wasn't
Danny
expecting
Malloy.
that.
So an unselfish play from Declan Farmer, and I am sure Jen Lee thought that Farmer was going to pull the trigger, and just sliding it wide of a gaping open net.
The angle was too much by the time he got it, but it was really close, and he had the right idea.
They blew it dead as the puck ended up on the back of the cage, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Lee. Well, I think you made the comment that Farmer, he's always looking to get his teammates involved, and that was a prime example.
So he's getting the puck.
Well, it was Josh Pauls again that made it happen with that long outlet pass. Puck sliding down into the Sled Dawgs zone. Played along the wall, but not out. Held in by Dodson. Don't come into the corner. Centers, it slides all the way through, but it's held in at the left point.
No, he didn't keep it in,
on it.
and McKee's
And
got
now,
the opportunity.
Here comes McKee. Although, look at that back check again.
Oh.
3 Team USA players closed quickly, and it was just a poor angle chance. Puck held in at the left point, nicely by Chris Douglas.
Probably should have attacked the goal with a different angle.
Team USA looking to break it out, and they do as it slides down toward Lamar. He'll play it to a teammate. Mishandled just a little bit by Pauls as he's pressured by Dodson. Two Team USA members going head-to-head. And finally coming free for the Sled Dogs is Mishevitz. But he was then bottled up once more. Nothing easy about getting out from behind your own net in this one, as it's just held in at the blue line. The Sled Dogs can't get it out, but there's Josh Pauls flying out through center to finally clear. Pauls will take it over the blue line himself and dumps it down into the corner. Looks like he's going to go for a change. Partial change for the Sled Dogs, and that gives a little breathing room for Team USA, but on the forecheck, a nice job from Musselman as he bottles things up. Held at the right point, shot, bounces wide. Getting to it first is Easley, and he's able to clear. Easley keeps it himself over the blue line. Stops just inside the zone. Tried to leave it for a teammate. And eventually comes back to the left point for Roybal. Roybal cuts into the high slot back toward the blue. Navigates his way. And there's a wrist shot from long range.
Just
trying
off
to
of the
catch.
net
He was
and
trying
off
to
of the
catch
shoulder.
Lamar by surprise. Lamar got a piece of it. Might have been going high, but Roybal.
Brody does that a lot. Flicks the wrist from, and it's on net.
Jones finds a man in front.
Then there
Center
it
for
is.
Roybal, and he'll dump it into the open goal. Just not getting enough was Griffin Lamar, and Roybal has tied the game at 2. It's his first
There
of the
it is.
evening. That goal comes at about the 4:08 mark.
Brody
of
gets
this.
it right out in front. Just a little flip. He knows how to do that, not overhit it. Look at that flip.
It took Roybal a little bit of time to get going tonight, but he's asserted himself since. And after the Sled Dogs are up 2-0, we're now deadlocked at 2. Puck is
Seriously, just down it. you don't want it up there. Doesn't look.
Sled Dogs looking to break it out, and they cannot. Held in nicely by Jack Wallace. Coming into the high slot, shot, blocker saved by Lamar. And Team USA controls once more. Wallace had it taken away, but Bolton comes back to hold it in. He'll find Wallace, tried to center, broken up by the Dogs. And I believe this is Pauls that is going to try to get it out. On the forecheck, that's Malik Jones bottling things up.
The Dogs are swarming on defense still.
Well, it's kind of flip-flopped from the opening period when the Sled Dogs controlled the early portions of that period. Thus far in the second, it's really been all Team USA.
Well, it's tied up now, so the Dogs are going to put back on their scoring hats.
The Dogs were changing on the fly. Team USA cleared it all the way down, and they're guilty of icing. So the draw will come back down in front of Jen Lee. Just about 6 minutes gone in this second period, all tied at 2. Declan Farmer with a pair for the Sled Dogs. Isaac Escobedo, about midway through that first period, brought Team USA within 1, and just 4 minutes into this second period, Brody Roybal has tied the game. Face-off controlled by the Dogs. Shot is deflected wide. And collecting for Team USA is Noah Grove. He'll slide it up the far wing, and it bounces out through center. Easily couldn't take it away from Mishevitz. And it's played back through the neutral zone. Team USA will look to regroup, but they had a little trouble controlling the puck, and Declan Farmer comes up with it. Farmer had a chance for the hat trick earlier this period, but he ended up feeding Danny Malloy in front, who couldn't quite tuck it in to give the Sled Dogs a little breathing room. On the forecheck, it's Musselman. He goes crashing into the wall against a trio of Team USA players, and we have our first penalty of the game, interference.
Really? Okay. We got a
So the
replay.
referee pointed out to center. Is this going to be a penalty shot? I think so.
Yeah, check out how they do their penalty shots here. We saw it yesterday, and the one guy doing the penalty shot goes about second ahead of all of the other players trailing. It's pretty exciting.
Okay.
So watch this, folks. It's unique to Sled, I believe. They've come up with it. Pretty exciting. And who are they going to have doing it? Who do we got there?
Can't quite
it's
make
Musselman,
out the
I
number.
believe.
Yeah,
he is a fast man.
Here we
And
go.
there goes the
Musselman
team.
on the breakaway.
The team behind him.
He deeks, shoots, and a save by Lee.
And no rebound
And we
this
remain
time.
tied 2-2. Ben Musselman denied by Jen Lee.
Yesterday they got one off the rebound, but not today.
At the right point, controlled by the Sled Dogs. Shot was blocked. The Dogs keep it in.
Keeping it in.
Declan Farmer couldn't hold the line. That came outside the zone by my estimation. And finally it's free through center ice. Josh Pauls on for Farmer. His shot's deflected high up into the air, bounces off the plexiglass and down into the corner. Nearly 8 minutes gone in this second of 2 periods. And we're tied at 2. Team USA looking to break it out. And it's Brody Roybal who does up the right wing. Roybal has the tying goal. Grove through center, drags it over the blue line. Play is onside, but Team USA overskated, and the Dogs will try to get it out. Good job on the forecheck by Grove. And now the Dogs do clear. They've got to tag up and get onside. Malik Jones.
Malik is just too fast sometimes,
That's
and he
right.
leaves his teammates behind.
He was all over it. He was trying to go 1-on-4 there. Here come the Sled Dogs back the other way, but overskating was Eustace.
It's getting tight in the middle.
Eustace will just dump it down on goal from the red line. Required a blocker save from Jen Lee. David Eustace made several great plays in the first period. He's been a little quiet here in the second. Well, there he takes the puck away on the forecheck, so maybe he heard me. I can't tell. Looks like he might have lost one of his sticks. That might be one
Yeah,
of
whose
his
stick is
sticks down
that?
in the corner. Eustace was playing with just one.
It
Yeah,
is
that's his.
Eustace.
And that allows Team USA to break it out. Here comes Easley. He'll
Never
cut
from
down over
Isley,
the
but
blue.
he's in there now.
He'll center for Dodson, who shoots and
That's the
scores!
Dodson from Easley.
Travis Dodson upstairs, and he gives Team USA their first lead of the evening. After being down 2-0, they now knife in front just about 9:30 into this second period. That was a quick snapshot by Dodson.
Right in that upper left corner.
And there's not much these goaltenders can do. Obviously,
No,
it's a
that
real
was-
challenge for them up high in those corners.
Where you
And
got to
that's
shoot it.
exactly where
And
Dodson
that's
went.
the only place he could have been. And was.
Well, let's see how the Sled Dogs respond. Loose puck in front, just slid wide.
Tough to get much
by
on
Evan
that.
Nichols. And the Sled Dogs will
See what we
throw
can
it
get
out
with that
through
pass to
center.
Farmer. Almost had it. It was Mish, actually.
Escobedo up the right wing. He started the scoring in this comeback for Team USA back in the first period. And now Roybal and Dodson have joined
Top
him.
teams out there for the Dogs. They want this bad.
Here's Pauls jumping in. He's taking off the puck, but it's loose in the high slot. Another collision. Pauls will keep it in along the line. Finds a man top of the circle. Played down toward the net. Skitter's just wide. Looking to center
front.
it was Eustace. Shot by Declan Farmer and a glove save by Jen Lee.
Well, all righty then. Action back and forth.
Nice. There was a lot of moving bodies in front of Lee, and it was a nice job by him to sort of right himself, and he saw that shot all the way in. Draw to the left of Jen Lee.
All right, we got Pauls off the ice for a bit here, and different line of players for the Dogs.
Ben Musselman taking the draw against Travis Dodson. Musselman missed on a penalty shot when the game was 2-2, and then just a couple of moments later, Dodson put his team out in front 3-2. Puck is centered toward the Team USA net, cut off there, and they'll look to break it out. They do. Just ahead of Dodson as he's cut off there by Liam Cunningham. Slides up the wing. And Eustace will now look to break it out. He'll play it along the near side and clear it out through the neutral zone. 18 minutes to go in this second period. Team USA, after trailing 2-0, now leads 3-2. Here's Dodson at his own line. Dodson, interestingly enough, began his Paralympic career as a cross-country skier before transitioning to sled hockey. And I'd say it's paid off for him. As the Dogs control at center, but losing the hand of Cunningham.
With that
yeah,
sport.
that's for sure. That's for sure. The Dogs are able to clear. Here's Eustace.
Nobody's knocking you off your skis either.
Taken away nicely by Malik Jones. He's looking for help. He's by himself. Now he gets some support. Still unable to center. It's loose along the half wall.
Dogs are swarming in the corner.
Now it's in the corner. Centered out front. Knocked down by Ryan Strong. It kicks free back to the circle, and a nice job by Malik Jones to kind
Balls
of
is back
keep
in
it
there,
deep.
but look at that pass.
Here's Eustace. If he catches up to it, he'll have a break. It's a rolling puck. Eustace gets there first. He'll shoot it. He
That's
scores!
the one.
David Eustace
Dogs
just
are
sneaks
back.
it underneath Jen Lee, and we're tied at 3.
The use is loose.
It's funny.
That's his first goal there.
There we go. He's been all over it today, but at the 13-minute mark of this second period, he gets the Sled Dogs back even. He's been flying all evening long, and it was fun. He didn't have that burst of speed on that occasion. Maybe he was thinking about what he was going to do with that rolling puck.
He had that perfect pass, and the goalie was thinking of coming out, and he should have. But he hesitated, and bingo.
That's the thing, as you know, if that goalie shows any hesitation, he's usually a sitting duck.
Yeah, he's stuck.
Another close one, as coming down over the blue line is Brody Roybal.
You know Team USA's not
He'll
going to
drop it off for Grove, who shoots, and Grove fired it high. Well, you can really tell that everybody's going upstairs, as you mentioned, Mark, and that one went high by about a foot. Team USA on the forecheck. Played back behind the Sled Dogs' goal, and they'll look to break it out. Bottled up along the dasher, and several players arrive. Caught up in the blades, and finally it kicks free to Josh Pauls. Pauls surveys. Taken away as that outlet pass was knocked down by Brett Bolton, and forced to cover up is Griffin Lamar.
All right, we're knotted at 3.
Halfway through this second period, it's been a seesaw battle. Sled Dogs got up 2-0. Team USA cut in front 3-2 on the strength of a couple of goals here in the second. But David Eustace tied it up at the 13-minute mark, and that's where we stand, 3-3. Malik Jones partially fanned on that shot, and the puck rolls into the corner. Taken there by Eustace. And he'll just chip it high in the air. Held in though by Utke. Eustace was trying to clear, didn't get it done. Team USA back on the attack. Puck stolen though by Chris Douglas. And he'll look to start the breakout up the far side. Fortuitous bounce as it comes to the neutral zone. Just out of reach for that Dogs player. Otherwise, he might have been sprung. Nice idea there by the Dogs defenseman. Controlling through center ice is David Eustace. He has the game-tying goal. Top of the left circle, he'll shoot. That went well wide. Getting there first for the Sled Dogs is Ben Musselman. He tried to center, went off the side of the cage, and Bolton takes it for USA. Held in at the left point by the Sled Dogs. Here's Musselman, he'll shoot. That went well wide, but it's held in by Farmer. Off the bench, through the circle. Tried to navigate his way through two players.
A little too much traffic
Couldn't
there.
get it done. Taking the body there was Bolton. And not even the best player in the world could find his way through that traffic.
Kept it in, though.
Here's Bolton now.
For now.
And he'll start the breakout for Team USA. Kind of gave it away, but the Dogs fumbled it.
Oh, look at
now
that
over the blue
change.
line is Jack Wallace. Wallace shoots. What a
Wallace
save
out of
by
nowhere
Griffin
off the
Lamar.
bench.
That's the old stack the pads. Lamar went down on his side and denied that opportunity by Jack Wallace. Puck is caught up now in the Sled Dogs bench. USA comes over the line and they control. High slot, Escobedo. He had Team USA's first goal back in the first period.
Is there. Ryan Strong's in the position after going to get his glove.
Up the left wing comes Declan Farmer.
But he's only got
nice body check
Farmer
there.
spinning around on the ice.
I couldn't tell who took the body there, but that's got to be dangerous as Farmer comes in with open ice. What a defensive play by Team USA. Under 13 minutes remaining in this one. We're deadlocked at 3. Josh Paul's pass goes off the back of the Team USA player, and it's held in by USA. Comes right back down to Farmer. And he'll look for some help. Spins a couple of times and frees himself up. Sled Dawgs have had a little trouble breaking it out in this second period, but now they do. Josh Paul's headman's for Malloy. He's cut off, but supporting was Kevin McKee. And now we have a whistle.
Another line change, and
so we've talked about the driving forces of bringing this game here, these 2 games this weekend, and really it's Colorado Sled Hockey and Dog Nation. And credit to both organizations. Jerry Duvall really spearheading getting the USA Sled Hockey team here playing in Colorado for the first time in several years. But one of the things that Dog Nation is trying to do is trying to build a sled accessible rink where the players do not have to stand on the ice, on the playing surface.
yeah, it's really important for all levels of the sport, of course. And, you know, definitely for the top end levels.
And we'll see if this is icing. It is, and we'll have a draw down in front of the Sled Dogs, Griffin Lamar. Yesterday it was Team USA prevailing 7-6. Who will it be this evening? The Dogs let a 2-0 lead slip away, but now we're tied 3-3. Face-off controlled eventually by the Dogs. It's Malloy. Couldn't find a teammate, and it's tracked down by Roybal. That's the last guy you want to give it to. Roybal,
Oh, look at how he carries that puck.
But all over him. A nice defensive play by Chris Douglas.
Didn't work out in the end.
Here's Dodson. He'll cut over the blue. Tried a drop pass, but it was broken up nicely by Musselman. Now Team USA has to regroup through center as they chip it down behind the Sled Dogs net. On the forecheck, it's Easley. He had it taken away. And the Sled Dogs will just play it out to the neutral zone. Dumped right back in by USA to the left of Griffin Lamar. Controlled by Witkowski, but he's met by a couple of Team USA players. Still bottled up in that corner as the Dogs are trying to break it out. Only 10 minutes left in this second period. We're tied at 3. Puck is centered. Here's Escobedo. He had the first marker of the evening for Team USA, but he couldn't control, and the Sled Dogs were clear. Held in by Eustace.
Now they're on the attack.
Tried to center. It was knocked down. He had 2 men in front. Couldn't connect.
Back on the counter.
And here comes Jack Wallace. Wallace over the blue line. Nifty move into the high slot. Now looking for help as he's bottled up by Josh Pauls. Wallace back down into the slot. This time it's Declan Farmer who takes it away, but Wallace still controls. Wallace will shoot. That one sails wide. The rebound held in at the right point by Utke. He'll just play it to the side of the cage, and it's free behind the goal. First man there, it's Jerry Duvall. Duvall will center, but Josh Pauls took it away. Pauls has been the most noticeable defender for either team tonight. Able to hold the line for Team USA is Noah Grove. You'll find Escobedo on the right wing corner. He's met by a Dodge
nice
player,
shot
but
on
he'll
goal
center it
there.
out front. That was Escobedo, just dumped it out front, and Griffin Lamar had to clear it away.
Head of steam by Declan.
Here comes Farmer over the blue line, into the slot, 1-on-3. Had a teammate, but he fanned on the pass. Now Pauls keeps it in. He'll double back toward the blue. Just chips it down behind the net. 8.5 to go in the second. We're tied at 3. Eustace cuts out front. He shoots, and a save by Jen Lee.
Just through the crease. Wasn't answered.
Farmer knocked down, but he still controls. Looks back, has some support, hangs on to it himself. He'll just wrist it into the corner and go for a change. On the forecheck, really by himself, is Ryan
Dawgs
Strong.
changing on the fly here.
And they
See if
hold
they
it
can
in,
keep
though.
it in with the fresh players.
They were able to do so. Team
But
USA
now
takes
Brody's
back,
got it.
And here comes Brody Roybal. Finds a man up the left wing. That's Grove. Makes a move at the blue line. Play is onside, but he's taken off the puck. Given away with the Sled Dogs. It's Grove. Couldn't find a teammate as it's cut off by
Oh, it was close,
a man
though.
in
He almost
front of
had
the
that nice pass
Sled
there.
Dogs net. The Sled Dogs trying to break it out, but easily will bottle things up in the corner. 7.5 to play in the second. Tied at 3. David Eustace, the tying goal at the 13-minute mark. We haven't had another goal over the last 10 minutes or so. The Sled Dogs trying to break it out. Will they get it done? Yes, they do. And the puck is loose in their bench. Flung to the near side and skating onto it for Team USA is Evan Nichols.
Could have caught him on a line
pass.
change, but didn't. And now the
Here comes
Dogs are
Eustace.
back. Eustace is on a
And
mission.
this should be
and he's-
offside. It
oh,
is.
They called it off.
Good call. as
Delayed
Eustace-
offside? What are we talking here? Is this
Eustace was
soccer?
taking it over the blue line, was knocked off the puck, and it did not look like to me that Farmer kept it in. He was cutting down toward the goal. Let's see on the replay if they give us one. Declan
Well,
Farmer
Refs made up their
arguing his
minds on that
case.
one. But it is right outside the blue line, so.
I think that was the right call. I think that came outside the zone, and Eustace was inside the zone as Farmer picked it up. We remain tied at 3. Puck is loose in front of the Sled Dogs bench. The Dogs pick it up. Slides into the right wing corner. Giving chase is Josh Pauls. No
Oh.
center. Nobody home there for the Sled Dogs. And it's flung high off the glass. Not out. Held in, but not for long. As coming back to center ice is Evan Nichols. Over the blue line is Jack Wallace. Cuts through the circle. Wallace shoots off the side of the cage.
Tough angle
He'll
there.
pick up his own rebound.
Wallace is looking like he wants that.
But guess who took it away from Wallace?
Go
None other
ahead
than
goal.
Josh Pauls.
They all want that
Team
go ahead
USA
goal.
will center. That one broken up in front nicely. Jack Wallace will get back to it. Spins away from pressure. Farmer will kick it free though, and Malloy will clear. 5:20 remaining in this second period.
Nice pass
Tied
there.
at 3. Here's Farmer. Right circle, cuts toward the net. He shoots, saved by Lee. And now we have a whistle, and the net is off, and so we'll have a draw on the Team USA
Not
zone.
his favorite side, like earlier in the game when he was shooting with his right after passing with the left.
And again, it was the back check. It looked like a little stick handle there by Declan Farmer trying to get that puck toward the center of the net, and Jerry Duvall came back and broke up the play. Good work by Duvall.
Yep, good defense there.
Face off to the left of Jen Lee. On the inboards, it's the Sled Dogs. And
Got to fall on
Lee
that one.
didn't like what he saw, so he just slid out, covered up, and will do it again to his left. Well, we thought it might be a bit more wide open than the second period like yesterday afternoon, but it has been tooth and nail the entire way. It was a 2-1 score after
Oh, it
one,
was
and
yesterday too. And,
Oh, was it? Okay,
yeah.
so that
Right-
second period really opened up. That has not been the case tonight.
right up to the closing seconds.
4 minutes left, tied at 3. The Sled Dogs collecting behind their own goal. On the forecheck, though, nicely done by Escobedo. Good centering pass broken up. And now here come the Dogs the other way. Cutting through center ice, it's Mishevitz. He couldn't get into the offensive zone, and Grove will pick it up for Team USA. Grove will center, just out of reach, looking for Dodson, and it kicks into the corner. Slid up the near wall, not out, held in by Escobedo. Giving chases Dodson for Team USA against a pair of Sled Dogs. out of that right wing corner. Roy Ball. He'll shoot. Glove down by Griffin Lamar. We have a whistle.
Give him a chance to change the lines. Catch the breath. Clock keeps ticking, though. We're down to 3 minutes of all-out action. Will it be the Dawgs or Team USA again by a goal?
Do they go 3-on-3 in overtime? You know the overtime rules?
Overtime rules should be 4-on-4, but, you know, they may not do that here. We'll see what they want to do. If we're not, it's still at 3.
Draw control by Team USA. Malik Jones taking off the puck in the corner, though. A pair of Sled Dogs there, including Josh Pauls. Now Malik gets a little help from some teammates. Held in at the right point by Utke. He'll play it to the far side. Crashing down into the boards is Wallace against a pair of Sled Dogs, and now Declan Farmer's sniffing around as it comes up the wing, and Eustace will just fling it out through center ice. He had Farmer, but he kind of gave it away. Delayed offside. Team USA has to tag up. 2:15 to play in the second. We're tied at 3. Here comes Farmer. He has 2 goals tonight for the Sled Dogs. Headmans it up the left wing for Eustace. Eustace will look back door. Broken up on the back check, though. I believe that was Jack Wallace.
Got back
as
just
Malloy was there far side.
Oh, he's back.
It's loose in front, and scoring is Declan Farmer. There's the hat trick, and back in front are the Sled Dogs.
The Dogs with Declan.
18-10 of the second period. Farmer picks up his
There's that right hand again.
Third of the game.
We've seen this before, but it is so sweet.
Just a quick little deke in front, as knocking down the initial centering pass was Rob Easley, and it got trapped underneath him, and sniffing around for the puck was Farmer. He made no mistake. Nothing Jen Lee could do.
Time for one more minute of all-out action from Team USA to tie this thing up.
Here comes Bolton. He'll dump it down.
I wouldn't doubt if they pulled their goaltender even, because they want this one.
The Sled Dogs will just try to dump it out through
center.
There goes
the goaltender.
And the extra attacker is on. 55 seconds to play. Team USA trailing 4-3. The go-ahead goal scored by Declan Farmer.
Gets it in. Got to keep
Puck
it in.
played down into the corner to the right of Griffin Lamar. Picked up there by Farmer, looking for an outlet.
Keeps it in.
Couldn't find a teammate. Flung toward the net. Blocker save, and it dribbles back down behind the goal. Here's Duvall. Heel center. Broken up by the Sled Dogs. 30 seconds to go.
Still got that 6-on-5.
Into the high slot.
Brody's got the angle.
Roy Ball shoots high of the mark. Just missed it by about
net.
6 inches.
Down to 20 seconds.
Puck is free. Can the Sled Dogs get it out? They do. Rolling puck. Is it enough for icing? It crosses the goal line. No call by the officials. Play continues. 10 seconds left. And that'll about do it. Declan Farmer is going to be the hero tonight for the Sled Dogs. As at the buzzer, one final save made by Griffin Lamar, and a 4-3 win for the Sled Dogs, avenging yesterday 1-goal loss.
That's right.
To Team USA. Well, as advertised, Declan Farmer, 3 goals tonight, including the game winner at 18-10.
Declan was the man on offense.
Excuse me, it would be 28-10. My bad, I'm not used to the 30-minute
Josh
period.
Paul's on defense. And there they are lined up.
Well, what a display from both teams, not only yesterday but today in this Rocky Mountain Showdown Series.
Well, it was great to see them have to play, both sides of the puck, and defense and offense. All these guys played their hearts out and came up with a great result here. Thrilling finish, like always.
Well, this was a real pleasure for me to see these great athletes on the ice, and obviously they've got the Nationals coming up, and followed soon thereafter. It's the Worlds this year, correct? And we'll see if Team USA can do it again. They've won 4 consecutive gold medals. They've been dominant at the World Championships as well, and the talent pool just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
Well, yeah, it just shows how good these guys have gotten, and it's right there for all sled hockey players to aspire to this level, because it's just strength and determination and skill in the game, and what you can do with your upper body. And It is such a great sport, as we've seen. The speed of it has never been faster, never been better. And sled hockey players would love it. They're all thanking the fans now for a great tournament here. Great 2 games, and getting to play what they love, the game of sled hockey.
Well, it's been our pleasure to bring you this broadcast here this evening. Many thanks to Mike Shaw, who put this all together, Shaw Productions, and of course Dan Brennan, who joined us between periods. Unfortunately for his club, they fell just a little short tonight thanks to Declan Farmer, who had the hat trick, the third of the hat trick with just 1:50 to go to put his Sled Dogs club out in front 4-3, and that's the final. Go ahead, Mark.
And yeah, we drew a great crowd here tonight. They're all very appreciative of the action they got to see live, and we're just great. We can stream these games very nicely to you now, and know all these players who've been playing the game for a while and deserve, the fans and the audiences that they get.
On behalf of Marc Romero, I am Brian Clark. Thanks for joining us this evening for the
Signing
Rocky
off.
Mountain Showdown Series. The Sled Dogs prevail with under 2 minutes to go, 4-3 over Team USA. Good night, everybody.